Welcome back, everybody. This is my 1 year update of the grass seed test that we did last year behind us. So stay tuned and we'll show you an update 1 year later. Welcome back, everybody. This is Mike with Jealous Lawn Care, and today, like I said, we are going to go through the 1 year update of the grass seed test proof that I did about a year ago. So a lot of you guys in the comments have been asking, hey, how's it look a year later? You know, you guys have had similar issues, some of you had different issues, so I just want to give you this 1 year update like many of you are requesting, so you can see how it looks a year later. So first thing you're going to notice on this update is that the stripes end about 2 strips in, and that's because I mowed the grass differently for these 2 strips, just to avoid any difference of shading from the striping features. So here we are. So the first test case we're going to talk about was this section here, and if you remember correctly, this was our True Green sun and shade mix, and you could tell that this was definitely a mix of grass because it all looks different. You'll see some very few Kentucky Bluegrass coming through here, real thin blades of grass. Then you'll see the thicker ones like the fescue grass, perennial rye mostly. And then we come to our next section here, and this is where it gets much thinner here, and this is your Kentucky Blue. Much thinner grass in here. Doesn't mean thin from the grass standpoint. We're talking about the blades of grass. All right, that was our first section. Now this is our second section, and you can tell this is our Kentucky Blue, all mostly thinner blades of grass. Of course, there is some thicker blades of grass just creeping in from the other areas. Then we move to the third section here, which you can tell my little footprint in there, so we'll ignore that. But overall, you can tell all these came in very well. So you can tell a little line right there because I've been mowing sideways. I usually mow this 1 strip just because I didn't want to cut over this border. But then recently I found out, hey, I can actually go right over it because I'm mowing nice and tall, like I hope you guys are too. So because of that, this rut will eventually go away. This section right here, this is your third section, which is your Scotts sun and shade mix. So you can tell this is all mostly Kentucky Blue that actually came up, which is kind of surprising, except for, of course, you're going to have ryegrass and stuff like that right there. You're going to have some in there, of course. It's always a mix in the bag. Now for the rest of this, these were all Kentucky Blue. This was our fourth section right here. This was Scotts Kentucky Bluegrass, had Super Thrive in it. And nothing special on this one. I mean, it's mainly for growing early, which we found out didn't really work. Then the 5th and 6th test. This is the one that I get most questions on. A year later, this is how it looks. This is the heavy-handed, this is the light-handed, or the sparse application. So here is the thick or heavy-handed. You can tell it's still nice and thick. Can't go down and see any of the roots. Looks really good. Kentucky Blue is working great. Then last section, this was the Kentucky Bluegrass by Scotts and the thinly or sparse application. Also very good. Hard to actually tell too much of a difference between the two, to be honest, now a year later. We know that the heavy-handed came in thicker and fuller in the beginning, but it seems like the Kentucky Blue seems to have filled in all the empty spaces, so it's really hard to tell the difference between the two now. Here's a little overview. Heavy-handed, light-handed. And I'll do a quick walk around too so you guys can see. But there really isn't too much difference between the two. And then I'll just do a quick walk through all the way around. There's that lovely rut from mowing sideways this strip, just because I felt that this was a little bit high. See how it kind of comes up over here in my little border? So that's why I've been mowing sideways, because I was a little worried I didn't want to mow this way and ended up cutting it and creating extra work for myself. But this is your 1 year update, so hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. Alright, so that is about it. You now have your 1 year update of the grass seed test proof. If you guys have any other questions or comments, something that you saw in this video, maybe you didn't see in this video, you're interested in, hey, let me know in the comments below, because clearly I love doing these test videos and I love answering all your questions. And if I don't know, then hey, we're going to do this test ourselves, or whatever test you are interested in. Alright, thanks for watching and see you next time.